What's up, T?
What's up?
Hey, man, welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of Movies with the Homies. Everybody, thank you for joining us on this little adventure as we talk about movies, talk about TV shows, talk about all kinds of topics that's going on out there in the world of entertainment. And that's the first thing we're going to start off with real quick, T. We're going to start off with the world of entertainment, and specifically the summer blockbuster season is upon us. We are now in May. And that's going to be our first topic right there. The summer blockbusters. You can kind of see little Doctor Strange, little Minions. There's Sam Neill. Excuse me. Sam Neill from Jurassic World. And yeah, the first article, it says, and this is from The Wrap, it says, summer box office preview. The movies are back, but not enough of them. So, interesting. I'm not sure, if this is necessarily a problem, but it is something interesting to look at. So I'm just going to read the first couple of paragraphs real quick. It says here, the summer box office should be, the 2022 summer box office should be another big step on the road to recovery for movie theaters, with several big blockbusters performing like COVID-19 isn't a thing. But the biggest obstacle isn't the quality, but the quantity. According to ComScore, only 35 films between the first weekend of May and Labor Day weekend, the traditional definition of the summer film season, are slated for wide release. By comparison, 37 films were released last year in at least 1,000 locations in 2021. 45 films in 2018 and 2019, basically where the summer, went bonkers, and grossed over $4.3 billion. So, we know that everybody's coming out of the pandemic and everybody's trying to figure out, all right, man, what do we do? We got a lot of films. We want to get them out there. But it kind of explains in this next little paragraph, T, and I'm going to hear your thoughts on this. It says here, with the backlog of productions that started well before the worldwide shutdown, combining with new productions trying to get underway, many key elements of filming, post-production, such as sound stages and visual effects houses, are in short supply, overloaded by studio demand. It's probably going to take the rest of the year to get through the bottleneck slowing down production, but this summer is already a sign of the progress that our studio partners have been making with the increasing number of titles we have to show in cinemas. All right, so this is by a guy that's the National Theater Owners President, John Fithian. It says right there. What do you think about the fact that summer movies really aren't going to be the thing this year, T? This is going to be our state of entertainment conversation. We're going to go ahead and just drop that right there. This is the state of entertainment, folks. So here we are. We're talking about entertainment in the scope of this particular situation. Summer films, not a lot of them. So does that mean that we're going to get a lot of bang for our buck? Are we going to get some good quality? That's what my question is.
Absolutely not. We're not getting any quality. And remember, I said this a few episodes ago when they were moving back things like Shazam and changing the landscape of what's going to come out.
Well, Shazam moved up. Shazam moved up. Black Adam.
My bad.
Black Adam moved back.
Black Adam. I meant Black Adam. When Black Adam moved out of there, they don't have the slate. Flash is supposed to come out this summer. I mean, I know that's, I'm trying to draw a correlation here with there's not, it's what the article said. There's not enough product. The demand is out. Nobody's trying to be in the house. The summer's going to come, and you don't have a summer blockbuster, really. I think Thor will be, but look when it's coming out. It's coming out after 4th of July. Maybe Minions. I saw that trailer when I was at Doctor Strange. I was interested. It looks cool. But what else you got? What are you going to do?
I mean, I got Jurassic World. And we've had that discussion. Jurassic World. I think that's going to be a big one. I think that's going to be a big film. We're going to see you in your fro. I can't wait to see you in your fro, T. This is going to be awesome. You're going to have the fro out there for all the people.
I'm not going to have a fro. It's going to tank. It's going to be terrible. Like I told you, Top Gun is going to be terrible. They don't have enough ammunition, man. They don't have enough ammunition for the amount of people. If they do go, if everybody goes, it'll be a fluff movie like, I'm sorry, not a fluff, but I mean, it'll be just.
I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like a filler. Yeah. Look what happened with Venom. Venom was what? A victim of his own success. That was a terrible movie. You liked it. I didn't like it.
I liked the first Venom. Second Venom, not so much.
Right, because people were just, oh man, let me see some dumb fun. Let me see what's going on. But if they're, remember, history repeating itself. We're doing the same old, same old, same old, nothing new. And when you do try something new, the people act like they got an allergic reaction, and it just, what you're going to talk about later in the segments.
Yeah.
It just, they don't like it, dude. They don't like it because it's not natural. The
Well,
80s, I love the 80s portion. The 70s and 80s were some of the best movies because it was more natural script writing. You saw it coming
oh
to
yeah, oh
close in
yeah.
the 90s. But this thing, remember, the blockbuster really died in the 1990s, dude. Died.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that there was changing demographics, right? You know, people said, hey, man, I'm no longer going to sit in the house and watch a lot of movies. Movies really took off back in the early 90s. That's when the superhero movies really started taking off. And now home entertainment became more about streaming. You know, when Netflix kind of picked up, you know, I remember Blockbuster dying in the 90s because I remember still taking my kids to go to get a Blockbuster video from time to time. And all my kids was born in the early 2000s.
I'm talking about blockbuster movies. Not the video store.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Blockbuster films. I mean, but the biggest movies that have ever been, like, as far as box office is concerned, is all movies that's come out this, you know, in the last, like, you know, 10, 12 years, man. You know, talk about Avatar, you talk about Endgame.
Inflation, dude.
All right,
that
man.
is inflation.
But here, check this out, T. Check this out, T. I think what you're alluding to here with the lack of films, like you said, they have their reasoning. They said, well, we didn't really have, there's a lot of, you know, films that we wanted to put out, but we didn't really have the post-production capability to really put these films together like we wanted to. You know, a lot of films have been kicked back. You know, I said one of the main reasons that Aquaman got kicked back is because, hey, there's a log jam at the you know, the post-production facilities, you know, for video, for special effects, visual effects, all of that stuff. There's a log jam and everybody's trying to get their movie through. And it's like, hey, we got to push this back a couple of months. So I think that's one of the major issues, and I agree with it. But I think one of the things that we're not really looking at is studios didn't know that this was coming, obviously, and they didn't have any smaller films in the hopper planned out, ready to go. You know, it's like, hey, like Netflix. And here's the other thing.
I thought I had you on board, dude.
Listen to what I'm about to say. T, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. Netflix, okay? And, you know, we're going to get to Netflix later because I got a lot to say about Netflix. But I've already gone over that with you, that Netflix is a dying breed right now because of streaming and the amount of, you know, the amount of competition that Netflix has to deal with. Netflix has to get a different model going, okay? And one of the things that Netflix should have had is they should have had some sort of an agreement where they could drop some of their stuff in theaters, okay? So they had this Adam Project film that came out, right? That's a film they could have easily said, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just put that in theaters because people are dying to get back to theaters. That's a little bit of extra bread that we could sweep up and say, hey, man, we got a little extra bit of money. And then we'll drop it on, you know, Netflix as well. So people have something to go and watch. I think all of these studios scrambling around at the last minute trying to throw stuff through the hopper, I think that's a bad idea. What they should have done is say, hey, you know what? We got smaller projects. Let's go ahead and release those in the theaters. Let's, you know, yeah, we got some special effects that we got to take care of and clean up, but we got to go ahead and get stuff in theaters. Theaters is where it's at right now. Theaters are hot. People want to go back. They're tired of sitting around watching Netflix. They're tired of watching Disney Plus. We're going to talk about those two, you know, the dropping streaming services, how those companies are all starting to come back down to earth because the theaters is where it's at. You want to make some money, you're going to have, and Netflix right now, Netflix has no studio connection to nobody, okay? Everybody's got their own streaming service. Marvel or Disney has a streaming service. You have Paramount Plus. You have Peacock for Universal, right? We have all of these little guys up here, you know? You got Universal. You have Warner Brothers, obviously, with HBO Max. Amazon Studios, they have their own thing. Netflix has nobody, okay? They have they have a streaming service, but they have no studio connection. So they're just picking up movies as they can, and people like to have that brand recognition. Like, yeah, this is stuff that came out in theaters. You know, Sonic's going to drop on Paramount Plus. That's going to get a huge boost when Sonic drops on that. Think about that, T. You drop a big movie like a Sonic where it's made, $200, $300, $400 million, and you can't, you know, connect that to your streaming service. It's not going to drop on Netflix. So Netflix is like, hey, man, Sonic's on, you know, Paramount Plus. Yeah, let me go get Paramount Plus. My kids will like that. They'll like to be able to watch Sonic again and again. They love that movie in theaters. Netflix has to figure out that particular piece of the formula. And I'm telling you, if they were smart, and if I was running it, I would be like, hey, let's go talk to Nintendo. Let's see what they're doing. Now, I know already Nintendo's got a connection to Universal. They better try to go and get those guys before Universal puts their complete meat hooks in it and it says, hey, don't even worry about it. We're going to have all of this stuff over on Peacock, and it's going to be great. Now, what do you think about that, T? Is Netflix and all of these streaming services in trouble because films are back? People want to go to the movies. People want dinner in a movie, dates in a movie. That's what people want, man.
No, they're no, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Netflix is going to make an acquisition. I'm pretty confident they're going to make an acquisition because they haven't basically. Well, they did kind of with that video game thing, but they need to make an acquisition. They need to make a big
bump. Who's out there to acquire?
We'll see. We'll see.
Nobody. There's nobody out there. There's nobody.
They're going to make just like Amazon bought MGM. Netflix is going to say, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to do something. They're going to have to shake up the landscape, and it wouldn't surprise me if they worked out a partnership with NBC Universal. It wouldn't surprise me if they just went after a big studio, or they said, "Hey, but Sony, guess what?"
But think about it, T. They already have Peacock. Okay, NBC Universal is Peacock. They already have Peacock.
Go with Sony. Do something.
Okay, that would be smart. Okay, Sony, come on in. That would be smart, and I definitely think they need to consider that. But I also think Sony is probably eventually going to want to say, why would we want to work with Netflix when we should just probably get our own streaming service?
It doesn't even matter. It's the buzz. Once you get buzz going like that, investors will start investing back again because they hear rumors of things going. Netflix got to come with some product. Hey, this whole article is about what? The movies are back. People want to be outside.
Yeah, man. People are back.
I've got to have my kids entertained. I need to get back to a sense or a state of normalcy. I'm not going to go through the mental anguish of being home, farting on the couch, ordering DoorDash and the rest of those things. I got to get out. I'm going to live my best life, as they say.
Yeah, T, like, I think the main, like, what I'm looking at right now is a summer blockbuster season where a lot of these movies may not be great movies, but people are just going to flock to the theaters to see them anyway, okay? Like you're saying, I don't think Top Gun is going to do that well. Well, what else are you going to go out and see? People want to get out of the house. They want to go see something. What are you going to do? You just going to sit in the house and be like, well, I guess I'll just watch, another episode of The Office? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to say, hey, man, I got to go out here and I want to watch TV. I want to watch a movie. So, okay, Top Gun. I like Tom Cruise. He seems all right. The trailers looked okay. Hey, let me go check it out. I don't know if this is going to do $1 billion, but I think Top Gun is probably going to do somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe about 600 million is not that much.
That movie does not connect with this day and age. And I am going to be, man, I'll be glad when I don't have to grow afro. Because it's
well, that's no. The afro is about Jurassic World. Now, when I saw Doctor Strange, they showed that last Jurassic World trailer, and I mean that whole theater was buzzing. Man. So I don't know what you're talking about. The afro is a Doctor Strange bet.
The movie's not going to,
folks. I just can't wait to see it. That's all I know.
It's not going to make a billion.
It might not make $1 billion, but it's going to be profitable. It's going to make a lot of money.
Okay. I got some breaking news for all of y'all watching. Dinosaurs are not real. It's fake.
I hope that's all. I hope that you. I hope you
found a fully intact dinosaur full thing. No.
I hope that gives you comfort at night when you wearing your afro tee. I hope that gives you all the comfort you need. You can cuddle up with them thoughts. All the thoughts gonna be held in by that moosier afro.
Man.
I can't wait. What do you think it's gonna be?
Is fake as Christmas. Get out of here.
What do you think is gonna be the biggest hit of the summer? If you had to pick one film, is it gonna be Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange is technically a summer movie. Or do you think it'll be Thor? Do you think it'll be Minions?
It'll be a toss-up between Thor and this new Minions movie. Something about that Minions movie, man.
What about Lightyear?
Oh, that's gonna be a good one too. Most likely it'll be Minions 1, Thor 2, and Lightyear 3.
Yeah.
Lightyear seems pretty interesting. Like, I like the trailer. I saw that before.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and I was really, really intrigued by that. I was like, man. That looks
if I
pretty
had
cool.
to choose, I'm gonna bring these little films back up just so we can see it. But if I had to choose between, where's it at? Here it is. If I had to choose between these films, right? Okay, so you got Bullet Train, right? I don't think Bullet Train's gonna do that well. I think it's gonna be a niche movie. Some people will like it. I don't think it's gonna do that well. All right, you got Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is already cleaning up right now. This weekend is going to be huge. It's already cleaning up. I think it's already passed like 100 million domestically. You know, it did like 80, 90 million dollars on the international stage. So, I mean, Doctor Strange is going to have a big, huge weekend. Minions, I think Minions is going to, I think that's probably going to be either the biggest hit of the summer or the number 2 hit of the summer. I think that as far as money is concerned. Jurassic World, I don't think, I'm with you. I don't think Jurassic World will hit 1 billion.
No.
I don't think it will. But I think it'll probably do somewhere in the neighborhood of 7, 8, $100 million.
Oh, it's gonna touch 8 or 9. It's
Yeah,
gonna touch it. And I don't think it's gonna hit a bill in the time frame that we would think. I think eventually this year it'll hit a bill, but I don't think out the gate it's gonna go
oh
ahead.
yeah,
Here's
nah,
the
none of these movies is gonna do that. They're gonna, build up
and
over about
especially if
3
gas
weeks.
goes up. The other thing you gotta remember, they know people are gonna be traveling. Gas is gonna go up. People are gonna say, "Man, do I get gas or do I go to the movies?" Those are tough
Yeah,
decisions, man.
big
And
time.
it's hard to budget for a summer that you don't know what the price of things is gonna be. I don't even know that the movie theater tickets are gonna go. If
Yeah,
anything, if they really want to make some money, they go down in price. They do all
yeah,
kind of promos to get things. I work with after school programs. I work with summer school programs. I get kids in the theater.
yeah.
I be doing that just clockwork. Kids, 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 kids,
That's a
kids.
good
You know what I
point.
mean?
That's a good
Have some
point.
kind of movie plan.
Yeah, there's gonna
I
be a
even
lot of
work with
summer movies, a lot of kids movies. That would be a good time. Hey guys, we're all going to go see Minions. We're all going to go see Lightyear. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. I would try to do something along those lines to try to really incentivize people to come back to the theaters because that's where you're going to make all your money with the popcorn and the candy and the soda pop and all that kind of stuff. Theaters need this. They need this desperately because I think a few theaters are probably hanging on by like the tip of their fingernails and hoping that they could turn a profit this summer.
Hey, tell everybody what you use, man.
I use AMC A-list, $24 a month. I get to see 3 movies a week. You know, I'm doing a show, so obviously that helps me because now, okay, for $24, I get to see 3 movies a week. I get to see a movie a couple of times before I do a review. It's like, okay, let me go see that again before I kind of formulate my thoughts. I mean, that's helpful for me, but just in general, like if you see 4 movies, let's say you want to see a movie every weekend, that's like $6 a ticket. Like, how can you
Yeah,
go wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? You paying
and
for,
Cinemark is good too. You mentioned a good point earlier about people going out to restaurants, doing their thing
yeah.
too. Man, support the local businesses, man. That's important. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome to see how things playing out this summer.
Hopefully this
I'm
summer builds it back, man.
right, right, right.
Yeah. But anyway, folks, that's our thought state of entertainment. We're strictly talking about the summer movies that's coming out this year. What do you think about where movies are at? Summer blockbusters, are we going to see some big numbers or is everybody just like, hey, man, money's tight. I got to keep my money in my pockets. Can't be giving it to AMC and all that. Go ahead, drop down in the comments. Give us your thoughts and opinions. All right, T, we're going to move on. The next topic, and this one, oh, man. We both saw a very, very, very good movie this week. In my opinion, a very good movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people were flocking into the theaters. My theater was jam-packed. Your theater was jam-packed. I'm pretty sure half of America is probably either going to see this movie this weekend or next weekend, and people are just talking about it. Everybody's a buzz. However, it's not the giggle everybody's saying it is. Doctor Strange 2 receives the second worst audience score ever for an MCU movie. And
How,
I don't know.
how could this be? How could this? How
I'm a
could this even be anywhere in the area of Shang-Chi? How could this be anywhere in the
no, no,
area
no,
of
no, no.
Eternals?
No. I'm
It's
gonna read
being
through this
dark.
as soon as this ad gets away. The direct has these little ads coming up. We waiting for the countdown to finish so I can get this thing up out of here. All right, gone. So here you go, man. This is what it says, and I'm just gonna go ahead and skip right to it. Right, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has officially received a B plus cinema score. B plus is good in high school, good in grade school. It is bad in cinema score. That is like nobody walked out of that movie. There was a huge divide. Let's put it that way. Everybody's walking out of a movie. If it gets an A, everybody's saying, hey, it's mostly pretty good. We liked it. We enjoyed it. Okay. If it gets an A minus, it's like, mostly it was all right, but we still good. B plus, everybody's kind of like divided. It's like, nah, I didn't like it, or hey, man, I thought it was great, and everything in between. B plus Cinemascore is tied for the second worst graded MCU history. It's on equal footing with the first Thor film, only surpassing Eternals, who got a Cinemascore of a B. So think about this. People are walking out of this theater and they're saying, what did I just watch? I don't even know. I don't enjoy this. Now I'm going to tell you, and you could go watch my review. I'll pin it up above. But I kind of said that, okay, number one, it's a Sam Raimi movie, but especially, this is a horror fantasy movie. This thing has a lot of horror elements. And if you're not ready for this, okay, if you're not ready for horror, it could catch you by surprise. And I don't think Marvel marketed this movie very well. They didn't market it with a lot of the horror feel to it, you know? Like early on, you started thinking, okay, you know, and I'm going to put some spoilers in this, so everybody just get prepared. We're going to talk openly about this because I already did my kind of non-spoiler review. We're going to talk about spoilers in this. In the first one, nobody kind of knew that Wanda was the villain. You know, how much did they really put that out there that Wanda was the villain? People love Wanda. People love WandaVision, right? So I guarantee you had a lot of people walking in here thinking, oh, Wanda, I can't wait to see how her and Doctor Strange conquer evil and this and that. And then all of a sudden, Wanda's the bad guy. And everybody's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? You know, I guarantee you that a lot of women came into this theater having a huge problem with that. Number two, I guarantee you that people were not prepared for this multiverse stuff. It was just wild. It was a lot of special effects. It was the graphics. Everything was just you know, at your face, and you weren't really prepared for it. You know, I don't think people were ready for that. But the other thing is, this doesn't feel like that formulaic MCU movie. Okay, I don't think this was right down the line as far as a formula movie is concerned. This is a Sam Raimi movie. Okay, anybody that watches Sam Raimi knows this is more of a Sam Raimi movie than a Marvel movie. This didn't feel like Marvel. It felt different. And for that reason, I think a lot of people walked out of here saying, nah, I didn't like it. You know, I don't know what your opinions are, T. What do you think?
You know, hey, I love the movie. I think I understand the audience's perception of thing because, like you said, it wasn't marketed as a horror movie. I
Right.
think what happened was that they tried to do what they did in Endgame, just all gas, no brakes,
Yeah.
and you know, sort of you worry about that later. Don't worry about that. And they made up for it with a lot of good imagery. You saw some things that happened in the movie
Yeah.
that you just weren't
100%.
expecting. You just
Not at
weren't
all.
expecting characters that you hadn't expected. You know, like whoa,
Right.
there were a lot of surprises. This movie is very, very good. I don't know. I mean, it's you know the great thing about opinions and differences is that you know it's important. I hadn't thought about that perspective, and hopefully they listen to our stuff and say, "Man, I hadn't thought about that perspective either." But
Right.
nonetheless, this is a great movie. Sam Raimi, man, you did an awesome job with what you had at. You made this a grown up Marvel movie. This is the most grown up Marvel movie that I've seen thus far.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
very
you're right
pleased.
because it doesn't have that same kind of formula. That's what I was saying. That's what I mean by the formula was broken, but it wasn't like trampled on. It's just like, okay, there's some pieces of it, but we're not gonna go deep with, you know, the same comedy. You know, like a lot of that kind of off-brand comedy where, okay, something serious happens and then they throw a joke in it to kind of lighten it up a little bit. None of that happens. Like there's horror in this, and it keeps you in that horror vein the entire time. Like I said, there's a moment where, you know, like I call it the invincible moment, right? Okay, I call it the invincible moment from Invincible on Amazon, right? Where Scarlet Witch is standing in there with, you know, these this pantheon of great heroes, right? You got, you know, the you know, Mr. Fantastic, that cameo, which was amazing. You know, everybody loved it. You know, you got Black Bolt. You had you know, Captain Marvel, but it was the, you know, the black version of Captain Marvel or whatever. You know, this, you know, the lady from the original, Lashana Lynch. She's Captain Marvel in this. And then who was the other one? Professor X, obviously Charles Xavier. You know, played by Patrick Stewart. You have this pantheon of great superheroes, and then Wanda just comes in and just one by one just pop pop. Oh, and then Captain Carter, Peggy Carter plays Captain Carter, you know, from the What If kind of, you know, alternate universe, and she just comes in and just pop 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 pop. And I mean, I know a lot of people, because I've been watching reviews, and a lot of people hated that scene. They absolutely hated it because, number one, they didn't like how they did these characters. They didn't like that Mr. Fantastic just steps in here and he gets absolutely destroyed. You know, you're saying Reed Richards, the smartest man in the universe. He gets destroyed just like that. And it's like, whoa, people weren't expecting that. People didn't like it. Now, to me, because I don't give a damn about the multiverse anyway, like I'm not a multiverse guy. I'm not into the multiverse. I don't take this multiverse stuff seriously. This was nothing but just pure popcorn magic. I'm just watching this, watching these dudes getting pulled apart and shredded and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. I love that scene because, again, I'm not wedded to this Marvel Cinematic Universe multiverse. I'm not like, this thing is important and we got to take it seriously. They don't even take it seriously because they didn't make me care about it. I just enjoyed the ride. Like you told me earlier when we was off script, I'm just like, this is just a fun ride. You know what I mean? This is just a fun ride. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, man.
It just, not to interrupt, it just, this movie was a movie about mental illness and depression. And
yeah, there's out of that in this.
There was no resolution to it, right?
Nah,
there was no resolution to
what was
going on, and without severe consequence. And I think the way you had the smartest man in the universe with somebody, and not like they just weren't
didn't assess the risk. He just walks into it. Hey,
right.
Hey, what's up? Didn't assess the risk at all. He just walks into it.
Didn't use time travel. Smartest man. He's already conquered time travel and how to. Man. Hey, I've seen this situation before. Man, I know what to do. Nothing. Just
right. That's why I said that moment was just. That's when and folks, when I was talking about in my review, when I was saying that there was some pacing issues, that was at that moment because they slowed the movie way down to kind of talk about this. Why Doctor Strange is this threat, and they try to set it up by saying, yeah, that you guys, he messed up the previous multiverse, and we had to fix it, and we had to kill that Doctor Strange. See, once they start killing like 3 or 4 Doctor Strange, I'm like, man, look, this is just fun, okay? Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't get your mind wrapped around it because Marvel, like I said, Phase 4, this was the best thing and the most fun that I've had in Phase 4. Most fun I've had in Phase 4.
What you tell me though, D? You said this is a comic book movie.
It's a comic book movie. Yeah.
This is a comic book movie.
Yeah, it's like you opening up a comic book and just watching this crazy stuff happen. Yeah, absolutely. So the score doesn't surprise me. I'm a little surprised that more people didn't like it, but I'm not surprised that it got a divisive score because this is a divisive movie. We can go to Rotten Tomatoes too.
What happened? It's hey, she had a mental illness. You know what I mean? She had a mental illness, and the way they dealt with it was, something they weren't expecting.
And you can see on this Rotten Tomatoes, folks, 76% on the tomato meter. Remember, when I did my thing, I think it was started at 80 when I was looking at the early reviews, and now it's down to 76. The audience score is 88%. And that might sound good for a lot of people, but like I said, anytime the audience score dips below 90, you got a divisive movie. You got I don't know about this movie. A lot of people are saying this movie does not work for them, and that's the problem. Now, what does Marvel do from here? I don't know. But I enjoy Sam Raimi stuff, so I'm fine. Like, if Sam Raimi makes another one of these movies, I'm in here like, yeah, let's do this. Because this was just like a big, like, to me, I was a kid again. This was a roller coaster ride. I'm watching, like, I'm just remembering having flashbacks of watching old school horror, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead when I was a kid, and just watching that stuff, man. It was a roller coaster ride.
Appearance.
Bruce Campbell's popping in.
And who was Bruce Campbell supposed to be in the early 90s?
Oh, you said it's supposed to be Spidey, man. He's supposed to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's great to see him in the movies.
But anyway, folks, half of y'all probably didn't like this movie because of the audience score. But hey, give me your thoughts and your opinions. What did you think? Drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about Doctor Strange 2. All right, T, let's keep going. We're going to march on to the next topic. All right, and here we go. I talked about this earlier, and then you wanted to weigh in as well on Amanda Waller and her possible new series. Now, it's not, I don't think it's official yet that they've stamped it in stone, but right now it says she's reportedly in talks for Viola Davis is reportedly in talks for an Amanda Waller series at HBO Max. It says here, I'm just going to read the first couple of paragraphs. It seems that the Wall, as her nickname is, may be coming to HBO Max as Viola Davis is reportedly in talks for an Amanda Waller series. According to a report from Deadline, Viola Davis is in talks to star in and executive produce an Amanda Waller series at HBO Max. Crystal Henry, or Crystal Henry, the Watchmen, is set to write and executive produce the series, which will be made by Warner Brothers TV. And then they mentioned here that James Gunn said, yeah, we're talking about doing a spinoff from the Suicide Squad. And he said that the series would be connected to this universe, but it won't be as much a comedy as The Peacemaker. All right, T, I had my thoughts and opinions on it. I want to hear what you got to say about an Amanda Waller series on HBO Max.
Remember when you shared it with me? I wasn't particularly thrilled. I said, unless they go with Cadmus, man, I want to see Cadmus, man. I want to see the horrors, and I want to see what they got to offer us with this. It'll be interesting because she's a dynamic character. She's very, very important to the DC universe. It's something different, like you said, different than what they do in Batman. But I want them to get nitty gritty with it. I want them to go just balls to the wall. I want it to be like a Tales from the Crypt horror story, right? Where she's just
with Amanda Waller. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, where she's going over, hey, this is what happened with this team. I'm going through these people to get the perfect team. And if you can lead up to that, that'd be great, man.
Okay.
This should be very, very interesting because you'll see the inner workings. I hope her daughter is in this as well, because I thought that story dynamic in Peacemaker was really good. It really worked.
Okay.
It wasn't forced. I like how when things aren't forced, it's easy. It's just at least in story-wise, it just lends to acceptance. Okay, let me see what's going. Oh, this is a story. This isn't real life, but it's a story. I think they should do a better job of doing that.
Okay, all right.
I've changed the course on this.
Mm-hmm.
I am positive that this is going to be good.
I think I'm not sure if it's going to be good or bad, but I'm glad they're taking a step in this. I think Viola Davis is good. I'm saying I don't know if this show is going to be good or bad. I don't know how they're going to set this up, what this is going to be about. If James Gunn is producing it and he's on board, I have a little bit more confidence because I like the way he approaches story making, filmmaking. I like his story style. So I'm okay with that. I'm not sure, again, just until I hear more. First of all, we got to know that it's happening, and it's still kind of a rumor. But just thinking about what it could possibly be. What's that?
The pressure's on them, D.
Oh, the pressure is absolutely on them. The pressure is absolutely on them. DC cannot afford to stumble any further. I don't think DC can afford to just, we made it bad. Like Marvel can make, internals. They can make, Hawkeye and Moon Knight. We gonna get to Moon Knight. Oh man. But they can make that stuff and everybody's just like, okay, that's cool. Y'all gave us a 23, 24, whatever. Great, first three phases. If you get a mulligan, you can make some mistakes.
Yeah,
but DC can't do that. DC got to be on point every single film, every single show. They gotta recover. They gotta build this brand up so people trust them. Okay, we was just talking about the Green Lantern cartoon that's about to come out. That's gonna be out soon, or isn't that coming out soon? I saw the trailer on it and I loved it. I thought, hey man, I can't wait for this. John Stewart's Green Lantern. This is gonna be good. Okay. DC animation has earned that respect from me, because of how they've done it over the years. DC animation does the job, but DC live action, always kind of hit and miss. And so here we got another live action film. I'm not familiar with Crystal Henry, whoever that is, if they're going to write this. I thought Watchmen was all right. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought it was all right, but I feel like for me, you're right, Cadmus. I want to see Amanda Waller taking that particular story. I want to see them bring that live and do wonders with that, So I'm in agreement with you. Like the main thing was just like how everybody was coming out and upset about it. And it's like, man, every time they go away from Batman, like even here, I was just kind of reading the comments real quick, and it's like, okay, this says, I personally have no interest in seeing a Waller series, but I guess if it looks decent, I'll give it a try. Lots of chances for interesting cameos such as Deathstroke and potential spinoffs, but would prefer a Nightwing. And I would love Nightwing too. Okay, don't get me wrong. But everybody just immediately goes back to the Batman universe. That's what I'm saying. A Nightwing, Chuck Dixon like HBO Max series. And where's the Green Lantern? Yeah, where's that? That's true. Like, where's the Green Lantern series? Like, that should have been out a long time ago as well. But folks, I got T on board. I got T on board finally after the week we talked about it, and he's on board. He's excited for an Amanda Waller series. Where are you at with it? Go ahead, let me know in the comments. Are you getting excited, or at least are you intrigued? Are you intrigued? Are you interested? Would you give it a chance? Go ahead, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, T, let's move on. Topic number 4. Oh boy, here we go. You know what that means, man. We got to go back to this well once again. And listen, it says here, this is the article that we're going to talk about real quick. Moon Knight producers confirm season 2 status is unknown. They don't need to, they don't need to do this. They don't need to do a season 2.
This is trash. This is a non-issue.
Yep.
I know we're just doing this, but this is a terrible story. Terrible. I'm not interested in this boring character that you're in the middle. You're in the middle of Africa, and there are no Africans. Let's get rid of this trash character.
You always go there, man.
Just give me what? Get out of here with this, man. Come on. Come on. Every avatar is a non-black. Get out of here. Look, get the heck out of here.
I don't care who the avatars are.
I
know you care. I know you care who the avatars are because you want to see this stuff. This was
terrible.
Boring.
Don't you fall for this, man. Stop being no more kitty gloves. This was trash.
It was trash because the story was trash.
Oscar Isaac. This is
you could have had all the black actors in all of these, every single avatar, and this still would have been a bad film. That's what my point is. You could have had every guy as a black avatar. This would have been bad because it's bad. It's just a bad show. I didn't have any enjoyment or any fun with this from day one. I said if I could binge this, I would binge this. I wouldn't watch this show. And there's nothing interesting about this character. There was nothing interesting about this universe that really made me come back to it. The only reason I kept coming back is because we could talk about it and we could keep telling people how bad it was. This was dull. I know a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people are interested. But I also know an equal amount of people were not. What's up?
What are they thinking?
I don't know.
How could you like that trash?
I think people
that was man, this is by far the worst thing they have ever put on TV. There was nothing in that. It didn't even remotely draw.
Wait. Worse than Falcon and Winter Soldier?
What? Way worse than Falcon and the Winter woke shit. Get out of here, man. Come on.
I didn't like
the vulture. The vulture. Not a soldier. No,
you hit it right. You hit it right. It's a woke story with a lot of woke stuff, and it just didn't sell itself as what it should have been, which was an action kind of spy thriller. They could have had all of that in there. They didn't do that. But
I'm so mad, D. You know what's so mad? Because they wasted my time. Wasted my time to watch this show. Yeah. There's no repeatability of this show. This show is trash, and I had to listen to all these other guys on YouTube and wherever. This is a great show. You guys are fake, man. You're fake. $3 bill. You're fake. Ugh.
I didn't get where people were coming from with it either. I listened to a lot of commentary. I was like, all right, let me see if I'm missing something. But anyway, last episode of Moon Knight, it took me probably like a whole day to watch it. Just because there's nothing that I'm not interested in these characters. Like I said, the only I think saving grace is that Oscar Isaac is a professional actor and he steps into that role and he does everything he can to really. He should get an Oscar for that. Oscar should get an Oscar because he really did all the heavy lifting in this thing, playing multiple characters. I thought he did a great job just on the acting, but the story failed. Ethan Hawke started out okay. At the end, I was just like, man, like I said in the just throw this whole show away. I just did not have a good time with this. And it's not that I don't like, Egyptian culture and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is fascinating. You know what I'm saying? It could be very, very fascinating. But they just did nothing with it that made me care about it. They just, this battle between, a couple of gods and their avatars and everybody's philosophies on, well, we should kill these people because they're going to be evil. No, we got to let them be evil and all that kind of stuff. I mean, all of that kind of stuff.
What was the point of
that was the whole point of the show is that you had Khonshu who's like, hey, we got to, we can't just kill people before they get an opportunity to commit, their atrocities. We can't just do that, and then what's that?
He was a hypocrite.
Listen, man. You try to find like some like consistent plot thread in this where everything makes sense. You're in for a long day, okay? But that was the whole point, is that they were saying, hey, these people over here, and then you got Ethan Hawke, who I think it was Amit or whatever is the person that he was the avatar for, or at least trying to help raise back and bring her back so that she could, the little alligator lady at the end. It was just bad news bears all the way through. I had no fun with this story. I don't think Marvel should do a second season. I think they
I
should.
love how there's no helicopters in Egypt and nobody
Yeah,
gets around
yeah,
somehow. And
yeah.
just it's just not a modern place. And just come on, man, stop all that. I've never been. Maybe I should take a trip, dude. But this come on, man, get.
They just did, like I said, they just didn't have, for me anyway, like a consistent through line where I enjoyed the story. I just didn't enjoy the story. It was kind of like every episode it felt a little different, and it was trying to make the connective tissue between, like really at the end. Like I remember I said, like the first 3 episodes, I was kind of like, all right, man, if they could save this, they could go in episode 4, 5, and 6 and make me care. And then all of a sudden we're running around in a sane asylum, and then there's a giant hippo showing up at the end. I was just like, man, I'm good.
We got two Egyptian gods fighting, and nobody's reporting on that on YouTube. Nobody's seeing any of this saying, "Hey, what is going on here?" Like it's just dumb. And oh, by the way, man, I love how these big people are walking around the earth now. No Avengers, no anybody saying, "Hey, man,
Nobody sees it. Nobody sees anything. Yeah.
nobody sees
Like,
it."
like, and I don't know if I was thinking like, or maybe people are just kind of used to this in this universe. Like people are just kind of used to, I mean, half the universe got snapped away and everything. Maybe everybody's just kind of used to nonsense like this. But yeah, I mean, I'm just disappointed in the entire, I'm really disappointed in the entire phase 4, with the exception of a couple of movies, Doctor Strange and No Way Home. Everything else has just been a giant disappointment. So I don't know if Marvel's going to switch gears now and start, okay, all right, guys, we was just kidding. Now we going to bring out our good gun. Maybe that's what Marvel's about to do, but I have no desire to continue watching Marvel television, okay? Because nothing on television has really, Loki, it says here that Loki's getting a second season, right? It mentions that right here. I just didn't feel it, and this is no shame to the people in the makers, that people that went out there and made it. It didn't work with me. It did work with some. It just didn't work with me. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully these guys get it together and figure it out. But anyway, folks, did you like Moon Knight? If you did, hey, my hat's off to you. I hope you enjoyed more of it. And, I probably, if they came out with a second season, I'd probably just say pass. I'm not watching it. I'll see. I got other stuff that I'm going to do.
If Miss Marvel is better than this, oh my God.
Man, I'm nervous about watching Miss Marvel too. I might watch that the first weekend, and if it doesn't hit right away, I'm just going to skip it. And I'm going to be like, nope, that's it. All right, folks, let me know what you think. Go ahead and give me your comments and your suggestions and your opinions in the comments below. All right, T. Next up, this one. I want to talk about this. You want to talk about this, I should say. All right. This is a canceled show, and I don't have a lot to say, but this is something that you want to discuss. So it says here, ABC's Promised Land and Queens canceled after their first seasons. And it says here, and it's kind of hard to read, but neither show brought in the audience the parent company Disney had hoped for. All right, so it says these shows will not be returning for a second season. They announced that on Friday. Promised Land was a drama by Matt Lopez about a Latino family in Southern California's Sonoma Valley. Debuted to great acclaim, but mediocre ratings in January after 5 seasons. Out of there. All right, or 5 episodes? Okay, 5 episodes, out of there. The next, it says, at the time of the move, they said, Promised Land is a beautifully executed and tremendously entertaining series of which everyone at our company is extremely proud. It has a passionate audience that is very interested in this show, and those viewers will be able to stream all subsequent episodes exclusively on Hulu every Tuesday for the rest of the season. So they pulled it off, but it's still going to be on Hulu. People can go check it out. So that's nice of them. Okay. Sometimes shows don't even get that. They just get pulled in the middle. It's like, hey man, it's like 9 episodes. What was it called? The what's the one show I always talk about? My Own Worst Enemy. Remember that show with Christian Slater, I think, right? Yeah, that thing got pulled after 9 episodes, and I love that show. I was like, this is a cool show. Got pulled after 9 episodes, done. Didn't resolve anything, done. Period. End of story. Nope. 9 episodes, and that's all we got. Okay, that was it. And then, I mean, but it happens, right? Then it says Queens boasted real life stars Eve, Naturi Naughton, Brandy, and Nadine Velasquez of Major Crimes as 40-something hip-hop stars looking to reclaim their 90s swagger. It was executive produced by Sahir McGee, Sabrina Wynn, and Tim Story, who also directed the pilot episode. And yeah, it ended its season in February with the smallest ever audience. It ranked last among viewers. So T, you wanted to talk about this. What do you got to say?
Yeah. Thank you for checking the box off. Set you up to fail. That's all this is. Same thing what we talked about last week with Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
You're trying to do too much and people don't want it. Check that box, D. Because it's not going to last long. You know what I mean? You're not on the platforms that have this kind of audience. I understand you're trying to show this to a nationwide audience, but it just doesn't work. That hip hop, that's not the platform for that. You should have ran that on maybe that should have been VH1. VH1
what was that thing? VH1 would have been smart. That you're right. Yeah, that would have been
smart. VH1. That other one sounds really good, man. Like The Promised Land, I would have did that on some other station, dude. That would have been a great show for the CW to have something serious. You know what I mean? And not that satire funny, because the CW has gone towards that. They don't really do anything serious anymore.
Yeah.
Like do something sad, like not a just that sounded like a cool premise. And I'm not saying that Queens did, but it was just too much, man. Like, wait a minute, how are we gonna put some stereotypical show back on? Like, how does that move? Like, you're saying, oh, I respect me, but put images of me doing something ridiculous. You have to change the mindset of people. The audience doesn't connect to something; they just don't connect. And we haven't even talked. It might have just I didn't see that. It might have just been a bad show, bad writing. Like, I don't want to see this. People don't connect to that. You know what? Especially when they're not going to connect to that and then they see on the news something else. You know what I mean? They can say, how is that? No, you've already ingrained something in my mind about people being one way, and now you're trying to tell me, hey, they've got hope. Nobody wants these hope sandwiches, man. And I take that from my boy Abdul. Nobody wants hope sandwiches, dude. They don't want, oh man, sprinkle this, something nice. The Powder Puff Girls, right? Sprinkle this, and a dash of this, what you got.
Give me something real. Give me something real.
It's unreal, dude. Yep. You don't have the avenue for this anymore like you think you do. You should
this would have worked great on like UPN back in the day,
Yes.
This would have been a great show. Yeah. That would have worked really well,
but
great show.
Yeah. And they don't have to be, I got news for you writers. You room full of writers, and I'm talking to you because I'm pissed at you. Get some people in the room who actually have a nice suggestion. We are other than rappers and entertainers. There's actually just show people. Show people. Show me the show where you show somebody else being, oh man, everybody else is a freaking doctor. They're doing this. They're an accountant. They're an attorney. Why didn't you do something? I mean, you've done that. Don't get me wrong. But that's not respect, dude. And this is something I
don't have interest in these films and these shows and stuff like that just because I feel like they're just throwing a stereotype at me and it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, people know stereotypes, there's truth to them, but at the same time, like when I walk through my daily, every day, meeting different people, talking to different people, it's like, this isn't real. Like, what you're showing me doesn't. Now, at some points, entertainment is supposed to be escapism.
It's offensive.
And why did you? But it's what I'm saying is, at some point, entertainment is supposed to be escapism. I'm supposed to escape into a fantasy world, but then you're like layering this fantasy world as if it's real, and that's where it gets offensive. Like, no, this isn't real. I don't buy it. I'm not buying what you're selling. And unfortunately, when you hit people with stereotype after stereotype after stereotype, then even these shows, which may actually be solid shows, like you said, we didn't watch them. I know I didn't watch it. So you threw this at me and said, hey, D, I got something to say. And, but I agree with your point is that, sometimes these, targeted shows, if there's not strong, good storytelling and good writing behind it, and if they're just trying to say, hey, all right, there we go. We got the box check. There it is right there. We did our job. Boop, boop, got it. If it's not that, I don't care. I don't care. If all you're doing is checking boxes, I have checked out. And it looks like these things are getting canceled left and right. So you got to start telling good stories.
Images. Don't get me wrong. Don't mistake what I'm saying.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for this positive image
but it
stuff.
doesn't play because the public is not dumb. The public
Yes,
knows when you're
yes.
trying to pull the wool over them, and
When
they're
you're
saying,
trying to
"I
check
don't
boxes.
like this." You did that with Batwoman. Gone. You did that with Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow started off great, then you tried to pull the wool over. You don't respect the audience is going to go away. We have options and choices. Stop trying to play us. That's all I got to say here, D.
Yep, you're right about that. All right, folks, what do you think about it, man? Two shows, probably has some steam, something good to say, but canceled after one season. And
Right.
maybe it's because it's just a little bit too much on the, the woke side or whatever. I'm not sure. But go ahead, drop down in the comments, give me your thoughts, your suggestions, and your opinions. All right, T, last topic. All right. And this one, I said, listen, we got to talk about this. All right. And I'm just going to, it's Disney Plus, but really we're talking about streaming in general. And here's the article right here. Do Amazon and Disney have a Netflix problem? All right. So it's talking about the way that Netflix is just absolutely getting crushed. Like absolutely getting clobbered on the stock market. And right now, I'm worried about Netflix. Okay. I'm not sure if you seem to be like, it's gonna be all right. I'm worried about Netflix in the sense that I think Netflix is almost out of here. Okay. I think they got like, if you told me 6 months ago, and I do have the 6 months numbers, I want to bring those up real quick. All right. So these are the 6 month numbers from 6 months ago, and you can see where everybody's done. Okay. So you have the first one, which is Amazon.com. That's a share price. Oh, that's a lot of money, right? It has dropped 34% in the last 6 months. All right. Then the next one, you have Disney, Walt Disney, right? And of course, Amazon and Disney got all kinds of other little affiliates and everything like that. So it's not strictly related to the streaming services. But nevertheless, you see them. They've dropped 37%. But Netflix, okay? Netflix, their whole game is streaming, right? That's what they do. 72% in the last 6 months. If you put $100 in Netflix, all right, back in June or back in November, right? You put $100 in Netflix, you got $30 left. That's all you got left out of your $100. It has dropped 72%. And Netflix is losing subscribers. It talks about this right here, okay? Saying the dramatic loss of subscribers by Netflix may mean industry consolidation is coming, all right? It had to lay off a whole bunch of people from its Tudum division. Those are all, they were trying to set up this whole little division for black entertainment or black focused stories, but they had to let all them people go.
Of course,
they got them up out of here. Well, they were the new kids on the block. It's just like anytime you the new hire, if they got to make cuts, y'all first one up out of here. No, T. I'm telling you, you've worked a lot of jobs. You know that's true, man. You the first one gone. You the new hire. We got to fire somebody. Hey, we gonna fire all these old cats? Nope, we gonna fire the new cats, and that's what happened. They were new kids on the block. Well, hey, man, you know what? You got to make yourself indispensable to your business. To them, I don't know what was on it. I don't know anything about it. They hadn't even gotten started yet, as far as I know. Well, yeah, but they up out of there. But they had to cut jobs. They're dropping subscribers left and right, okay? They said they lost 200,000 subscribers last quarter. They're talking about losing 2 million subscribers the next quarter. Everybody's cutting bait and running for the hills. They say, I'm done. Out of here.
Price point.
They got to change. They got to do a lot. They got to do a lot more than change price point.
And don't talk about, don't ask, don't tell on the goddamn password thing. Just shut up about it.
They got to do that, and they got to get rid of all the woke garbage that they got in there. The stuff like they got to get rid of shows like Cuties. Get it out of here. People left for that reason. I didn't watch it either, and I don't care to watch it, but that affected people a lot. And people are sensible. They like, hey, man, I got this thing. You're showing this kind of stuff, and I don't need that. There's a lot of other streaming services. That's really Netflix's problem, is there's a Disney Plus, there's an HBO Max that didn't exist 10 years ago when they first started getting rolling. That stuff didn't exist. You got Peacock. You got Paramount Plus. You have all of these streaming services. I can get entertainment from a whole host of places. I don't need Netflix. And Netflix is suffering that. The same thing's going to happen with Disney, and the same thing's going to happen with Amazon. Now, not to the same effect, because like I said, they have other things that they can do, okay? Disney has all of its theme parks. They have toys and merchandise that they can sell. They have a lot going on. They got films that they put in movie theaters. They're not just a streaming service. So Disney will be all right, I think. Amazon and the same thing. Amazon's going to be fine. But I thought
Amazon
this
does
was an
really
interesting
good.
conversation because it says, do they have a problem? And I think their streaming services are going to start to see the same kind of struggles that Netflix's streaming service is receiving. No?
Amazon streaming network is basically non-existent. It's a non-factor, but they've got good stuff.
Well, they got great stuff on it, but people still will say, like a person like myself, like I use Amazon a lot, but at the same time, a person like myself would be like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's on Amazon that I am enjoying, and I'm going to tune that on and watch that over something else. As long as that streaming service exists, it serves as competition to everybody else.
See, I don't think this is going to be a big thing.
Wow.
As far as Netflix, like I said, is going to bounce back. They're going to right their ship. They just have to take a fall. A lot of this is theater. The determination has already been. You got investors, man. You think Disney is not invested in Netflix? You think Amazon is not invested in Disney? They're all friends. Stop playing like you don't know, man. This is just
70. You see that number, Jay?
They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. Hey, blood in the water, blood in the water. All you sharks out there, I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure there's some people that's out there. Hey, man, it's time to buy right now. But keep in mind, before Netflix,
that thing is lit up red. That's time. It's time. Time to do your thing.
I think Netflix is, in my opinion, it's a company that's probably was overvalued at that time, 6 months ago, because that was in the height of the pandemic and everybody was staying at home. So people were just like, hey, Netflix, that's the place to put your money because they're getting all of these new subscribers because everybody's at home with nothing to do. But now that people are leaving their houses, going back to the movie theaters, getting back out to the world, you just see the slow and steady decline of this formerly streaming giant. Now I think right now they have to be, like I said, 6 months from now, what are we looking at? They have to be concerned about that. Like, we lost 72% in the last 6 months. And yeah, we were probably overvalued to begin with. But what are they looking at? In the next 6 months, are they going to be, under $100? How many more subscribers are they going to lose? And I think
you go after the kids. That's what you do. You want to right the ship, go after the kids. Go after the kids, get the kids addicted to the shows and saying, hey, mommy, I got to have Netflix. I got to watch it. Boom.
Yeah, because Cuties is coming on next. Your parents gonna be like, wait a minute, that's the streaming service with Cuties? Oh, hell no. No, we're not having that. Turn it off, cut it off, done. Parents, we talked about it with Disney, remember? Hey, remember we talked about it with the Disney Plus, where those parents was kind of like, hey, Disney, you going with this R-rated stuff? You started to put little parental blocks out. Hey, we ain't with it. A lot of parents are not with, hey, just throwing their kids out to the wolves and just letting them have that. A lot of parents are like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. Hey, it looks like Paramount Plus is safe.
I'm telling you, you know what you do? Then you market towards the moms. You market towards the moms and say, hey, this is a safe space.
You got to make a decision. Yeah.
Do Netflix Playground. Hey, this is the playground we're in. Hey.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But that's it. I was just, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that because of these dropping stock. I mean, these guys are getting
secretly, you don't like Netflix. Secretly, you have an issue with Netflix.
I wish Netflix. You know what it is, T. Like I said, I think Netflix has they're the best streaming service in terms of its setup. Okay, in terms of its platform. I think the platform, the way it comes off on television, like everybody's copied them. Really, everybody's really copied Netflix and their, the way they're everything. They've copied it all. So I like Netflix, and I like there's a ton of stuff on Netflix that I could just kind of scroll through and watch. But I'm hoping that they survive, and what I'm trying to do is really just discuss options and ways that Netflix could possibly see the other side of 2022, because I don't think they're gonna make it, man.
The cable companies who are making it increasingly hard with their internet prices, and then like AT&T's, their internet prices, they're extremely high because they're not making any money off of cable, because people are like, man, I don't want to deal with it. I mean, you don't have enough. The way they program things, it's not set up for this day and age. You had a 30-year head start, 30, almost 40-year head start on how you program things. You got to change up the dynamics. You got to make me miss it and then boomerang it back around.
Well, look at this with cable, okay? It says here, while it was expected, this is from that same article, while it was expected the streaming wars would devolve into consumers willingly pay for just 2 or 3 services and discarding the rest, cutting the cord with cable was supposed to be more about choice at a lower cost. It's gotten to the point where putting together your own package of streaming services is almost as expensive as cable. I think that was the thing. And then it goes on and talks about how it was poor timing for them to raise their prices because when you're coming out of a pandemic, you want to make sure it's like, hey, we don't know if people are really going to be still watching us. We need to slow down, probably keep our prices the same, and to see where things land. And if people are going back to the theaters. Okay, we got to keep things where they're at. We can't just go hiking up prices. Inflation is jumping everything up. We got to be very strategic about how we do this. And they weren't, and now they're feeling the brunts of that lack
And
of
they
planning.
don't watch it the same. I'll watch it on my phone. They don't.
What I'm saying is that if you jump the prices up to, what is it now, $15, $16, $17, you take Netflix up to a higher price than where it was. Because at first, one time I was paying like 10 and then it went up to like 12. And people are making decisions. Like you said, it's like, hey man, $17, I can't really afford that each month. If I couple that with another service that I got and this other service that I'm not watching, I might put all of that together. That's a $50 savings every month. You know what? Let me just cut all 3 of them joints, get them out of here. I don't have to watch. Okay, and I'll just stick with my Disney Plus, which is $8 or whatever. I'll just stick with that.
Let me ask you this. This is a yes or no question. And I know we got to end our segment.
Yeah.
Do you think the country likes when consumers are responsible?
No, of course not.
Because why? It is not beneficial to my business model.
Yeah.
I need you to be irresponsible. I need you to have a leisure and spend your leisure money on me.
Yep.
That's all this is about. People are going to be responsible with their consuming. Like, hey, look, man, let's work together as a team. You know what I mean? Let's be a community. Everybody's always talking about that community thing. Be a community. Hey, let's watch this. Let's not watch that. Let's be responsible. And in the end, it's hurting everybody.
Yep. I'm going to let you have the last word on that, T. I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of Movie the Homies in the Books. This was episode 13, unlucky 13, but I think we knocked it out of the park. We did a good job with it this week. All right, folks, if you haven't done so already, there's subscribe buttons and like buttons down there. Go ahead and take care of that. I appreciate you watching this long if you made it this far, and I do want to appreciate all the new subscribers. I'm just seeing them flooding in, and it means a lot to me. We're going to have to do something. I'm about to hit some subscriber milestones, and we're gonna have to do something for all of the subscribers that have hung in there with us and really helped us build out this channel. All right, any last words, T?
Man, you guys have no idea that this dude next to me is a legend. Local legend, dude. No idea, dude. And hey, subscribe, please subscribe. Hey, make those comments. Let me know, man. Let us know exactly how you feel. It's important, man. Are we like-minded? Are we way off base? Let us know. I'm telling you.
Be critical.
Be critical. Yeah, be critical. Watch out. The DA is going to prosecute it, and Pessimistic T is here for you.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.